Hi, Coach Laura, and I did want to go through things that you want to include in your race report. So I really think it's important to do race reports because you learn a lot from it, and it will help you to prepare if you ever do it again, or it will help you prepare for other races. So I think that's really valuable. If you go onto my website, you can see I'll be alluding to the race report I did for the Ironman 70.3 World Championships in Africa. And so each race that you do is a little different. This one, I had a lot more travel. Obviously, it was a different type of experience than maybe other experiences. Maybe you're coming from a running background. I highly encourage you to stay organized as well. So one of the things I do to stay organized is each one of my races, I've been doing this forever, but I have a little folder like this, 3-prong. I'll print out my registration. I'll print out the maps. I'll print out any instructions, or I'll print out directions from where I'm staying to where I have to go. Any information for the planes or travel, all that information. And I keep that in there. So when I go to my race, I have it organized, and I keep that. And I often will print out my race report and put it in there as well. So with that race report, obviously you want to include what race it was, what was the distance, what's the date, what was the location. Oftentimes I'll write down, when was the race start, and the time it started, the temperature, anything that might help me if I ever did it again, or it's just kind of fun recounting the details, because then it's like you get to relive it, which is fun, because I think for me, racing is like the cherry on top of what I do. So I love to train, but that racing is the cherry on top. It's like putting everything all together. So I love it. So other things I like to include in my race report would be like the equipment that I used. You can see, like in this race report, I will include pictures, and this is one I did for my website. So, but a lot of people do these flat lay of what they're wearing in a race, which is super helpful because you can look back and go, what shoes did I wear? I don't think I used to pay attention as much as I do now to what equipment. I mean, I pay attention to the equipment, but I never really document it as much as I do now. And that's been really helpful. Like, what shoes did I wear? And what did I choose to wear in those temperatures? And that's been really fun. Other things I did, like for this particular event, I have a picture here of us riding. We actually had an escorted ride for that particular race. It was in Africa, so not all races do have a police escorted ride, which was kind of cool. Of course, it was more of a safety feature, so it's a little bit different, obviously going to a different country and competing, but obviously it was a once-in-a-lifetime type experience, so I really wanted to detail everything. Other things I included would be any experiences that I had. Of course, what did I do for the preview? When did I go to the packet pickup? And, what did I experience there? What did I learn from the race? That's another thing I like to write down. I usually do it kind of chronological. So how early did I go? How many days did I go in advance? What did I do when I get there? Where did I stay? What did I eat? What did I eat, of course, during the race really is helpful. So oftentimes I'll detail what I plan to do and what I actually did. So the race report on my website, you can just go to blonderunner.com and put race report, and you can see several that I've done, and the one that I'm alluding to. But I have even a more detailed report that I keep for myself. So you can be even more detailed if you like those details. Often I will put down, just like I do in my training log, what was the weather condition? What was the footing? Was it wet? Was it windy? What did I have for nutrition at what time? How far into the bike did I have electrolyte, or whatever I do? I try to detail as much as I can. That will help you learn from it. Often another thing I like to do is write like something like some of my pacing on my forearm, or a mantra that I have. I will put that detail that in my race report too. If there were qualification standards that I had to meet to be invited to that race, I'll put that in there. Like, how did I qualify? Other things that I'll write down are just anything that I remember that I felt was important. And you might not realize, but every little thing can become important later if you ever want to re-experience it. Funny things that happen, you can obviously write things like that. You can also evaluate the event itself. Like, did you like that event? Would you go again? Or, wow, they didn't do a very good with organization, right? Or and then how did you do in the race? So evaluate yourself. I often will add things that, maybe I should have done hills more, or maybe, this, or maybe that. Maybe I'll give myself suggestions in training as well. So those are some of the things that I do for my race report. You can go online, I'm sure, and search a lot of race reports and get ideas, but I think it's really helpful for learning. So I encourage you to keep a race report and then create a little folder for yourself to keep yourself organized for each race. Super, super helpful. So if you have any questions, or comment below if you like to do things for your race. I always worry about missing a little something when I post these, but hopefully I've covered most everything. But yeah, make some suggestions below, or any other comments on things that you want to hear about. So until next time, live well.